So you're probably sitting there wondering how to dispute accounts with Credit Karma. Well, guess what? I've got all the answers you need in today's conversation, so stick around till the end. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you had to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about how to dispute accounts with Credit Karma. So you've been sitting there, you're just wondering, hey, listen, my credit account has some derogatory items. I just need to dispute it. What is going on here? I'll first explain how to dispute in general. And then I will explain to you how to do it specifically through Credit Karma. So this video has two sections. First, how to dispute accounts in general, and then we're going to customize this strategy based on Credit Karma. So how do you dispute how do you file a dispute in general? The thing is, number one, you want to send a letter to the credit bureau. I want you to start from there, okay? Don't listen to anybody else who tells you, no, do this, no. The first thing you need to do is to send a letter to the credit bureau, because the derogatory items that you noticed came from a credit bureau, okay? You want to start from the source. So once you identify an error on your credit reports, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau recommends that you contact the credit bureaus that actually produced the reports with the error. And that makes sense. And that's what the government is saying. The government is telling you to send a letter to the credit bureau that produced the reports. So this can be Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion. It could be one, could be two, could be three, okay? So the thing here is that those credit bureaus, those credit bureaus let you dispute inaccuracies on their respective consumer credit reports online or by mail. So you want to give your contact information and in writing, explain what the error is and why it's wrong. Remember, in writing. All right. So you'll find sample letters to dispute credit report information with the credit bureaus on the CFPB website, on the government website. So the CFPB is the agency that takes care of those things. OK, you want to be sure to include supporting documentation such as a copy of an email verifying the status of the account that's reported incorrectly. This is important. And the CFPB also recommends that you keep copies of any letters or documentation that you send, and suggests that if you send it by mail, you want to use certified mail with the return receipt. Don't be stingy here and try to send this by regular mail. No, okay? So I'm showing you on the screen right now. Here are the addresses of Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. You can see it on the screen. So Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And errors on a credit report could include identity-related errors such as misspelled names, wrong phone number or address, or your information incorrectly merged with another person's credit record. It could also be incorrectly reported accounts, such as closed accounts reported as open, or an account wrongly reported as delinquent. It could be an account balance or credit limit errors, or reinsertion of inaccurate information after it's corrected. Okay, so after you send a letter to the credit bureau, what do? Not just sit around and just wait for no. You need to determine if you should contact the provider as well. Big decision time, all right? Have you identified an error on your credit report? Have you even taken a look at your credit report lately? I want you to start right now. So when you send a letter to the credit bureau, okay, it's been 30 days, 45 days, nobody's getting back to you. Well, what do you do in the meantime? You need to study. You need to evaluate whether or not it makes sense to contact the provider. The CFPB also recommends that you contact the company that provided the information to the credit bureau, right? So companies that provide information to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, they are also known as furnishers. Okay, so when we talk about furnishers, those are companies we're talking about. So examples of furnishers include what? Banks, credit card issuers, utility companies, landlords, and so on and so forth. So if the furnish's address is listed on your credit report, you want to send your dispute to that address or contact the company for the correct address. Okay, you can try going directly to the furnisher and ask them to correct their reporting mistake before contacting the credit bureau. You can do that as well, okay? Because this can save you some time also. The third thing you want to do, you want to wait up to 45 to 60 days for the credit bureau or furnisher to investigate and respond. Give them some time. Don't push them. Don't be impolite. Don't be aggressive. No, you give them time. And the laws. The good thing is, if the item on your credit report is indeed invalid, in other words, you have it. If it is true that it is wrong, the law is on your side. So just be patient. All right, be patient. Don't get into any kind of uncivil behavior here. You want to wait up to 45 to 60 days for the furnisher or the credit bureau to get back to you. Okay, and the fourth step you need to take is you want to review the results of the investigation, because they'll get back to you. So the credit bureau involved must provide you with the results of the investigation in writing, not through a call, not via email. No, they must do so in writing, and also a free copy of your credit report if the dispute results in a change to that report. The credit bureau must also provide you with the name, address, and phone number of the furnisher that reported the incorrect information. And if the furnisher continues to report a disputed item, it is required to notify the credit bureau involved about your dispute. Okay, this is what you need to do. And the next thing you need to do is you need to check for updates to your credit report. You want to make sure they actually did what they were supposed to do, right? They were supposed to correct the issue, to fix the issue, and remove whatever derogatory items was on your credit report in the first place. Now, I want to talk, so this was a little précis about how to file a dispute in general. Now, let's just customize it here. How do you file a dispute through Credit Karma? This is important. This is actually the gist of today's conversation. So if you find an error in your TransUnion credit report, by the way, for those of you who are not really familiar with Credit Karma does issue TransUnion credit reports, okay? They do the Vantage score, not Experian, but TransUnion and Equifax, okay? So if you find an error in your TransUnion credit report, Credit Karma can help you dispute it through, they have a tool called Direct Dispute, or you can dispute it through TransUnion. You should only file a dispute if you believe there is incorrect information on that report, okay? So this is important. And if you find, let's say, Credit Karma can also, by the way, Credit Karma can also help you find your Equifax credit report, and you can request your credit reports from each of the three major credit bureaus at annualcreditreport.com. But here we are focusing on Credit Karma. Okay, so before you file a dispute with TransUnion, you have done all your homework. You're definitely sure that everything is inaccurate, everything is not right, blah blah blah. Okay, it's wrong. So you go through the Direct Dispute tool through Credit Karma, and so when you log into your account, you click on the Direct Dispute button. That setting, that functionality, and it will send you automatically to your TransUnion credit report, and you will say select dispute and error. This is so straightforward. It's very easy. We love that, and we love the fact that Credit Karma has made it very simple, very easy to do so. So you would see a button called dispute and error, and so you will be prompted to complete a form regarding ownership and accuracy. You can choose to dispute either the ownership or the accuracy of an account, but not both. Okay, so ownership means what? Ownership means this account is not yours. So if you're trying to dispute ownership, you need to choose this option if the account is not yours. In terms of accuracy, you want to choose this if the item on the report belongs to you, but the details are wrong. Okay, so this is important. So we have to specify the dichotomy here between ownership and accuracy. Ownership, the account is not yours. Accuracy, the item on the report belongs to you, but the details are wrong. So let's talk about what to expect after filing a direct dispute through Credit Karma. So after you send the direct dispute, you'll be able to check on the status of your dispute in your dispute center. So Credit Karma has a nice interface, and they have a dispute center, and so you can actually go through that file and see what really what's going on. You can go through that space rather. TransUnion typically completes its investigation within 30 to 45 days after they receive the request, and they will review your dispute request and let you know if the item will stay on your report or be modified or removed. Okay, so filing a dispute request does not guarantee that TransUnion will change your report. Now, let me just say one thing. Everything I'm telling you today, you can actually hire a credit repair company to take care of it for you. The only thing is they will charge you like crazy, and this may not be the right option if you are currently scraping by. Okay, this is important. And seeing changes on Credit Karma. So once you whether you file a dispute through direct dispute through Credit Karma or a dispute through TransUnion directly, if TransUnion makes a change to your report as a result of your dispute, you will see it on Credit Karma after the platform gets the updated information from TransUnion. That's what it is. One thing I want you to be very clear about is that Credit Karma is not able to make the change to your credit report, and they basically depend on TransUnion to provide them with any updated information. Okay, so something you just need to know. And so how does Credit Karma's direct dispute feature work? It's very easy. You want to start by checking your 3 major credit bureaus on a regular basis. You can then check your TransUnion and Equifax credit reports for free on Credit Karma. Again, when we talk about Credit Karma, we are speaking only about TransUnion and Equifax credit reports for free, not Experian. And if you spot any errors on your TransUnion or Equifax, you can dispute them. And you need to actually scroll to the bottom of the account snapshot that contains the error in question. And before you submit the dispute, you will be required to fill out a brief form. Okay, we already talked about that. And one thing I just want to say here is that you want to look for errors such as anything about your personal information, your account information, derogatory items. Okay, and when we talk about personal information, we talk about the first name, last name, all that kind of stuff. Account information also. Geography is also an important element. Your address, if you have moved to a new neighborhood but you're still shown as living at the old address, those are things you want to pay attention to. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. We are also having a conversation about how to dispute items, how to dispute accounts with Credit Karma. And the thing here is that if you find an error on your credit report, on your credit report through Credit Karma, the person you need to contact, or the agency, or the third party, or the second party you need to contact is the same as what we talked earlier. It has to be the credit bureau or the furnisher of that bureau, of that data. Okay, this is important. So we have a duality here, and I want you to focus on those 2 categories. So it has to be either TransUnion or Equifax, because when we talk about Credit Karma, we're not speaking about Experian. Okay, so you contact the agency, and I gave you the process you have to go through. It takes about 30 to 60 days. Be patient. Don't be uncivil. Try to be polite. Everything will be fine. That's the first category. Second category, you have to actually contact the furnisher. Now, we go back to what we said earlier about contacting the furnisher. It's so important. And you want to look for all kinds of furnishers. I know originally I spoke about credit card companies, bank lenders, if you will, credit unions, in some cases tenants, in some cases utility companies. Yeah, but you also want to dig up any documentation that relates to other things in your life. Let me explain. You want to prove that some information is wrong. You want to prove that data is inaccurate. Well, guess what? You might have to dig up any documentation that supports your claim that is not as I would say that is not as frequent as possible. Let me give you an example. You can use rather court documents. You can use police reports. You can use bank statements. You can use a letter from the lender acknowledging the error. Anything that can substantiate your position, anything that can back up your case, go ahead and use it, right? It's all about substantiating your case. It's all about providing the kind of evidence that will help you win the case. Okay, so don't be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to look for the normal paperwork that I always provide. No, anything that is legally acceptable should be taken into account. Let's talk now about disagreements. Okay, what if you don't agree with the results? Because hey, I'm not sitting here telling you that TransUnion, Equifax, or Credit Karma, for that matter, or any party, any furnisher of data, or any credit bureau will agree with your with your documents. So big decision time. What do? Big decision time. Talk to me now. First of all, I just told you to not be uncivil. You want to be professional, if we can call it being professional here, but you want to be as polite as possible, okay? So here are some actions you can take if you do not agree with the dispute results. Once you have selected the items you like to dispute, you click continue. This is in Credit Karma, and you have to accept direct dispute terms and conditions by checking the box. So once you do this, you can actually wait for the answer from TransUnion or Equifax. If we're talking about Credit Karma, right? You wait for you read the answers, you take some time. You have the right to send TransUnion a note of 100 words or fewer describing your situation or why you disagree with the results, and TransUnion will add the statement to your report. Remember, if you do add a statement, the entire statement will be seen by anyone who can access your reports, like banks, lenders, and potential employers who may consent to checking credit. So because of this, you may want to exclude any medical information or any details that you would want to be kept private. This is so important, okay? So think about this statement as something that will be publicly available for anyone. So you just want to write it in perfect English, do not curse, be professional, just explain the situation. So that's the first option you can do. First option. If you don't agree with the result, just put your statement. Just tell your version of the story, tell your side of the story. That's all it is. The second option is you can file a complaint about the company reporting the account, or about TransUnion and Equifax for that matter, with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau or with your state's Attorney General office. Okay, so you have the lawsuit option, which might be time consuming and sometimes expensive. But if this is really worth it and you really care about the mistake and they're not doing anything to remove it, you can file a complaint. So those are two options. Either write a 100-word statement or file a complaint. All right, folks. So this is it for today's conversation. By the way, everything I just told you about Credit Karma, you can only do those for your TransUnion report. For your Equifax report, you have to actually go to Equifax itself. Remember that Credit Karma provides your credit reports for Equifax and TransUnion. But when it comes to direct dispute, you can only dispute your TransUnion report. I'm not even talking about Experian, because Experian, it's a different animal, if you will. You have to go to their website, and Credit Karma their platform does not provide does not provide Experian credit report. Okay, so you want to dispute an item, you can dispute your TransUnion. You can dispute an item on your TransUnion report. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for your attention. I was talking to you today about how to dispute accounts with Credit Karma. I appreciate you. I hope that you found the data valuable, and I will speak to you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.